You don't start out as a criminal. You start out as someone who just really, really loves sneakers. That's the part nobody tells you when they're explaining how the counterfeit industry works. They skip the origin story. They jump straight to the raids, the arrests, the headlines, but the beginning is always the same. It starts with a kid who can't afford the shoes everyone else is wearing. And that kid decides to do something about it. You're 17. You grow up in the kind of neighborhood where status lives on your feet. Jordan 4s, Yeezy 350s, New Balance 99s. You learn the release dates before you learn your multiplication tables. You camp outside Foot Locker for 12 hours in November to buy a pair of off-white Dunks, flip them the next day for 3 times retail, and feel for the first time in your life like you understand how money actually works. Not the textbook version, the real version. You repeat the process. And then you discover something that changes everything. A guy in your school, quiet kid named Marcus, shows up wearing a pair of Travis Scott Jordans the week after they sell out everywhere. Not a beat-up pair. Not a fake you can spot from across the room. A pair so perfect, you have to hold them under fluorescent light and squint to see the difference. You ask him where he got them. He smiles. He says he knows a guy. The guy is a supplier based in Guangzhou who runs a storefront on a Chinese e-commerce platform. Marcus has been buying from him for 8 months, selling locally, pocketing the difference. He shows you the math on his phone. Buy price, $14 per unit, including shipping. Sell price, $350. Retail comparable. Margin per unit, $336. Marcus sold 40 pairs last month. You do the math. You ask him how you get in. And just like that, the ledger opens. The first shipment you pull $200 from your savings and place your first order. 6 pairs. Assorted sizes. You tell yourself it is a test, nothing serious. Just an experiment to see if the product is as good as Marcus says. The shoes arrive in a plain brown box from a freight forwarder in New Jersey. No branding. No return address. Inside, 6 pairs wrapped in tissue paper, with the kind of care that seems almost ironic given what they are. You hold the first pair under your desk lamp and rotate them slowly. The stitching is tight. The colorway is exact. The tongue label has the right font, the right spacing, the right country of origin text. You set them next to a reference photo from the official brand website. The difference is not invisible, but it is small enough that anyone not specifically looking for it will never see it. You sell all 6 pairs in 11 days through Instagram DMs, local pickup, and a low-key post in a sneaker enthusiast group where you've been a trusted member for 2 years. Nobody asks hard questions. Everybody is thrilled with the price. You net just over $1,800 on a $200 investment. In 11 days, you tell yourself this is temporary. You tell yourself you'll stop once you save enough for something specific. A car, a laptop, tuition. That is the exact same thing every person says at the beginning of every story that ends badly. They always have a stopping point. They never reach it. By month 3, you're ordering 30 pairs per shipment. By month 6, you've graduated to a dedicated supplier who gives you tiered pricing. More volume equals lower unit cost. The math becomes its own gravity, pulling you forward. You are not making a decision anymore. You are following a formula. You quit your part-time job at the sporting goods store, which feels like a poetic kind of irony you only notice later. The operation within a year. Your operation has architecture. You rent a storage unit 40 minutes outside the city under your mother's name because you are not yet thinking about what that means for her. You have 3 resellers who move product for you locally and split the margin. You have 2 accounts on secondary market platforms with spotless feedback histories built through months of selling legitimate pairs before transitioning to replicas. You know which shoe models photograph ambiguously. You know which buyers ask fewer questions. You know that a buyer in a wealthy suburb is less likely to take a pair to a authenticator than a buyer in a city sneaker community where everyone knows everyone. You develop a vocabulary for risk. You rate buyers by their likelihood to dispute. You rate products by their likelihood to pass casual inspection. You are running a business with a risk department. You are 20 years old. The money is not drug money, but it accumulates with the same quiet speed. You buy a used car, cash. You upgrade your phone every 6 months. You send your younger sister $200 every month and tell your parents it comes from freelance work, photo editing, social media management, something vague enough that nobody asks a follow-up question. Your parents are proud of your entrepreneurial instincts. They tell their friends their son has a head for business. This is the part that is hardest to carry. Marcus warns you once. He says the guys who get caught are always the ones who scale. They stay in their lane, and they're invisible. They start building something, and they put up walls that people can see from the outside. You tell him you have it under control. You don't have it under control. The brand deal. The call comes from someone you've never met in person. He finds you through a mutual contact in the Replica community, an online ecosystem of forums, group chats, and private Discord servers where tens of thousands of people buy, sell, and review counterfeit luxury goods with the organizational precision of a Consumer Reports magazine. His name, the one he gives you, is Derek. He says he runs a distribution network across 4 cities. He's been watching your operation, and he likes what he sees. He proposes a formal supply arrangement. You provide product. His team moves it. Volume goes up. Your supplier pricing drops further. He handles the logistics. You handle the sourcing. He wants to start with 200 pairs a month. You say yes in less than 48 hours, which in retrospect is the first door you walk through that you will not be able to walk back out of. Derek is not what he presents himself as. You learn this slowly, the way you learn everything important, too late and one detail at a time. His distribution network is larger than he described. The cities are more than 4. The buyers include resellers who move product inside stores, not just online. Real brick-and-mortar retail operations, selling replicas as